on how fast you're learning, what's the pace. Like, it is super valuable. I think it shows people, I think it shows the right people that you are willing to really put in the work, you're willing to learn, you're willing to be a student of the game. I have a free intern right now, and I think she's just wonderful. And I like bought her lunch the other day, and I was like, I'm sorry that we can't pay you. Like, I wish I could. And she was like, she literally said, you pay me in knowledge. And I was like,
Ooh.
okay, and she's in college. And so it kind of works out because like, she's at this position in her life where she's not trying to like pay for life yet, really. And she does have another job, and I just work around her. I do think that there is a healthy boundary between like, hey, I don't pay you. We can work as you so please. You want to learn as much as you want, like your hours are up to you. I think that's important too. So it has to be kind of the right person, because I do think a lot of people can just like really take advantage, and then they're like, oh, just turn in and burn in on interns. But I think if you really care about helping someone learn and advance in their career, like she's a senior, I think she's a senior now, but if I had known what she knows right now, like what I taught her to do, I would be maybe so much further now. Obviously the path is the path, and like it's working out the way it's supposed to. But I was like, man, if I knew how to edit videos like that 5 years ago, it'd be super different. Because I was looking at old videos that I made, and I was like, look how these are all the things I would change. And then, it's so cool.
Who are your biggest influences that are creators online, like right now? So I look at like Mr. Beast, and I'm blown away constantly by him. I look at Gary Vee or
we watch Gary Vee a ton. Like my boss and I are sending those back and forth, and just like, following along. That was someone early on that he kind of like directed me to. Personally, I love Alex and John. Which is Cat Stickler's, cousin. And of course Cat Stickler, obviously a Tampa girly. But then they're just kind of funny. But their content is interesting and fun. And I always try to figure out how, like, why would you follow a furniture account? We should be interesting and fun too. And then I follow like a ton of marketing girls, and we're just like, I'm always listening and trying to learn and listening to how many people are saying what. And, it always makes me laugh when people are like, I just got off the phone with Meta. And I was like, me too, sister. They just want you to spend more money. For sure. I think they say
Love
different things.
Google calls. Those are great.
Yeah, those are so great. But, I think they say different things to creators than brands. But
that's true. Have you met anybody? Anyone that you've looked up to?
Cat Stickler.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That I hugged her. I saw her. I met her at a conference, and then she came to Dwell, and she actually bought a chair.
This is by coincidence?
No, she came for an event that we invited her to, and I invited her through a friend of hers. I would love to meet Alex and John just because I just think they're super fun, and obviously they're related. But I met Cat Stickler. I met Giselle one day. Who else have I met? I met... I'm blanking on her name at this very second, but she lives in St. Pete, and she's just like super sweet.
Could be a lot of people.
Yeah, just like a ton of.
Very vague.
But you like meet. Clara. Clara and herself is her handle.
Oh, gotcha.
And she's just like a super positive.
Yeah. Doesn't she run one of the Tampa, like Visit Tampa type things?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think not her.
Okay.
I've seen her stuff. My wife follows her. But.
Yeah, and that's like, because it resonates with me personally, but then I'm able to take that type of like successful content and apply it to a brand, which really, if we're making this brand personalized to connect better with audiences, that's what you want to do anyway.
So with that said, that was actually going to be a question on personal brand versus company brand.
Personal brand. Personal brand.
Why?
Because especially right now, all of the research and everything is saying that people want to follow people. We're made to be in community. Like, that's what we like are drawn to. That's why TikTok and Instagram work so well, because it's just like we want those things. If you're looking at it from the good side, what it was for, connection. But I think that a big part of it is if you come to Dwell, I literally work there, and I'm like, yeah, of course you can. You can buy from me. Like, you know exactly who I am. Like, the funny part is when I got engaged, people noticed because I'd be like hitting the camera and they were like, oh, hey, like it's, but I think people love to connect with people. And I think that's where a lot of furniture companies kind of miss the mark is like, why would you follow a furniture company? Like, yeah, you're following for design. That's great. But as soon as you don't need it anymore, or if it's not something that interests you all the time, like, yeah, I don't really want a million photos about sofas. But if we're telling a good story and this sofa was named after this client because they're one of our best clients, you could have something named after you too.
Like, me I could get a couch named after me?
You can get something named after you, yeah.
A stool.
Dwell client. All of my things that were named after me are now gone. But I know, because we don't keep the same stuff. We just rotate it. But yeah, so I just think it's like, yeah, we're a brand. And that's really great and everything. And I think, people still want to follow. But, like, why do you follow Wendy's?
Because they're hysterical.
They are.
On Twitter, yeah.
Because they're absolutely hysterical.
X. Yes, it'll never be X.
Get it right over there.
I refuse.
No, yeah, they're the best on X by far.
So with personal and business branding, what advice would you give to a business brand on how to incorporate people into it?
I think that they just need to start incorporating their team, whether that's their marketing team or their design team. Like we're always trying to do. I know my designers don't like to be in front of the camera, but we work them up too. I got fun tiny mics. And so,
oh, nice.
yeah, I just got a new set and I'm really excited about it. But I think incorporating the people of the company, because you don't want to just follow something sterile. They want to feel connected to it. And when they want to think like, oh, like, if I'm going to, like, people do influencing for Target. Mm-hmm. And if I'm following this person who has this, they're just sharing their life and they so happen they go to Target all the time and now they're a Target creator, like, I'm going to be like, oh, I need something. I'm going to go to Target, because my friend told me to, or because these people that I trust that I'm recognizing. So I think brands just need to take the risk. And I know that's really hard because I know there's been a lot of debate out there about like, well, what if that person leaves? Like, what if I left Dwell? Story Steal Girl is how I've become to known in the community. But, I mean, because we are a personal brand and you see everybody on there, it wouldn't be weird.
You just have to take that risk.
Yeah.
As a business.
Like if I'm on vacation and Kat does an Instagram takeover, people love it. They're like, Kat, she did it before me. Like she did the lives before me. She does a great job. And, but it's people they know all of our people, and that we're lucky in that because we only have 40 people, and there's like all 40 don't work in the front, so you don't see everybody. But I do think brands just need to like Coca-Cola, just like pick somebody, not an athlete to do like a Subway ad. You just pick somebody who's like behind the scenes at Coca-Cola. Like that'd be so fun. I want to see that.
That's a good point.
Micro-influencers is huge.
That's a good point, though. Like the Subway, Coke ads, Pepsi, whatever company you want to name, like they always just have like a new temporary.
Well, it's almost like a joke. It's like, who gets the Subway deal this year? Or like, except for, but who does really well in the personal branding, even though you don't actually know that person, is Jake from State Farm. Like State Farm's Jake, like that, and then now he's like friends with Patrick Mahomes, and I'm like, everybody loves Jake from State Farm because they created this character. Yeah, it's insurance.
And isn't it the second Jake from State Farm or third? Like they've actually.
It's the second or the third, yeah.
I think it's the second.
Yeah,
I can picture the first, and obviously the one who currently is, but yeah, he's friends with Patrick Mahomes. Like that's a good point. Like they make a character. I mean, there's a few, like Matthews and Core have their representatives, like in our industry, those are gear manufacturers, and like I can picture them. I couldn't really tell you their name, maybe, but
you can picture them.
Yeah, I wonder if there's value in that. Do you have an opinion on is it that value for a business to just show people, or build a real audience around
a singular person?
I think there's value in both. I think that
political answer. Hello.
Yeah, it depends. I like everything in marketing. It depends.
It definitely does.
But you do need to show people. I think it depends on like what kind of angle you want to go at. Mm-hmm. And so like if your brand is built to have this like Jake from State Farm character or Flo from Progressive, like, I mean, I remember their names. Like that's just like it's the whole thing, and like it could be anybody because it changes all the time. which is fine. And that works for such a huge company. But I think if you're Dwell, or if you're like a local coffee shop like Buddy Brew, I would love to see the people of Buddy Brew. I would love to see them doing like more personalized, funny, trendy content, because I follow coffee shops that are like not even on my side of the country, because I think their stuff is funny.